I've had a 1-to-1 Iron Man Mk5 helmet for a while now, about a few months. This is it right here. It's very detailed. As you can see, it's like it's right out of the movie. Obviously, it's not made of metal, because if it was, it would be ridiculously heavy, and it would probably hurt some necks. It is fully wearable, by the way, so you can put this on. But I've had this one for a while, and recently I say recently, it actually took forever to ship, but recently, I bought another one, because of course I did, and it came last night, and it's right here. This is the Mk50. This is the Iron Man suit from Avengers Infinity War, and it's less detailed actually than this one, especially on the back, because the back of this helmet is pretty, it's pretty bland, whereas this one has a lot more detail going on. But that's just the design of the helmets from the movies, so it kind of had to be done that way. But still, this thing looks absolutely gorgeous. Just look at that. Like, again, it looks like it's straight out of the movie. And again, this one is also wearable, so you can put this one on as well. But yeah, this is what we got, and we're going to be reviewing them today. We're going to be looking at functions, and we're also going to be looking at the price of these, because they weren't cheap. This one was cheaper than the other one, but so yeah, we're going to be looking at that, and we're also going to be looking at wearability, I guess, because one of them is easier, for me anyway, to wear as opposed to the other one. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into this review. Alright guys, starting off with this one, we have the Iron Man Mk5, and I already showed you what it looked like, but I'm going to again, just because I feel like it, honestly. Okay, so here we have the Mk5 helmet. It came with this remote control, so you can have it do things without actually being into contact with it. It also came with this manual, which we will look at a little more in depth here in a minute. But to turn this on, there is a little switch at the bottom of the chin there. And I don't know if you guys could hear, but when we flipped that switch, there were pieces in there that moved around because they were calibrating. So in case you're unfamiliar with the Iron Man Mk5, this suit, according to the movies, is supposed to fold out of a suitcase and completely cover Iron Man. So there's obviously a lot of moving pieces in the Mk5, but as for this helmet, the only moving pieces that are on here are in the mask. It's in this silver part right here. But there are quite a few moving pieces, more than you would think. And so we're quickly going to go over the functions. And all of them are accessible through this remote, as well as voice commands. So you can basically tell it to do things with your voice by saying Jarvis, and it'll respond to you, basically letting you know that it's listening for any of these commands. So you can tell it to do any of these things, and it will react accordingly. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to be using this, and we might get into voice commands, but we're definitely going to start with this. All right, and that is basically all of the functions for this one. So as you saw, the main function with this, like I said earlier, is all of these moving pieces in the helmet, and there are quite a few. There's this piece right here, these two, this big one that kind of just folds up, and this top little plate right there. But now that we've covered all of the main functions, we're going to go into a little bit more about its wearability and stuff like that. It's also worth noting that with both of these, before, like if you were to buy them, you would have to put batteries in them, obviously. I mean, as well as this, to get it to do anything. The battery pack is behind the padding right here. So you would basically just flip the helmet upside down, and there's a little pouch behind the padding in the back of the helmet with a battery pack in, and it takes 4 AA's. So does the other one. But anyway, to wearability, these helmets, this one especially, fits most heads, I would say. But to actually put this one on, there is this back plate right here that does move, but not by itself. You have to take it out with your finger right there, and as you can see, there's this little slot thing, and that would slide into a little slot on the inside of this. And another thing I forgot to mention, actually, is the mask on this helmet can be controlled with 2 sensors on the sides of the helmet. And the other one has sensors as well, but this one's sensors are much easier to find because they're on the earpieces right there. Like, I did not touch the remote at all, but just touching that sensor will move the mask. And on the other side, this one, if I can get it to work. This one will move the whole mask just as one piece, up and down like that. But anyway, as for putting this on, like I said earlier, we have to take this back piece off. I mean, it doesn't come all the way off, but it comes like dislodged a little bit, just like this, so you can actually like fit your head inside. That's what it looks like inside, by the way. It's very messy in the mask because of all of those moving pieces, but that is what the inside of it looks like. And now I'm actually going to put this thing on, but before I do, I need to mention that this helmet is actually slightly too big for my head. So that's easier to fix than it being too small for my head would be. Literally just take like a hat and put it on, and it'll fit a little better and it won't slide around as much. So for me personally, that's what I have to do with this one. But we are gonna go ahead and put it on right now. All right, here we are. So I have the hat on, and I closed this back plate, literally just like slid it up under there and heard it attached to the side here. So now this thing is on my head. It's worth noting that with the eyes on like this, it's actually very hard to see. It is hard to see out of this thing with the lights on. So if we make the lights red, which we could do with the remote will still work when holding the helmet, but I can't really see the buttons. So we're just gonna say, Jarvis, start combat mode, and we're gonna make the lights red. And it's a little easier to see when the lights are red. But another voice command you can do to improve visibility is to say, Jarvis, shut down system. And the lights will turn off. So it's easier to see like that. But while wearing the helmet, if you want to open and close the mask, the easiest way to... You could just say that. That is a voice command. You could go back to when I showed off the instruction manual for this one to see what all of them are. But I find the easiest way to do it is to use these side sensors on here. If we use the other one, it opens it up in all of its pieces. So yeah, that's pretty much it with this one. If I remember correctly, the price point for this one was like 300. It was low 300s. I want to say it was 312. So for 312, this is not bad. It's pretty functional. Like the mask is crazy. I actually really like the mask for all of the moving pieces that it has, and the Jarvis voice commands and everything that it can do. See, like it literally just picked up my voice right there, and it comes with a combat mode, and that's what the red lights are, which is not movie accurate, but it's still cool that they included it in, just because it is, right? So yeah, I really love this helmet. I've had it for like a few months now, and this was my first Iron Man helmet, and for 312, I think the value in this is pretty good. It is pretty, I mean, it's $312, but I feel like you're getting some value for your money there. So we're going to go ahead and move to the Mk50 now. So let's go ahead and do everything we just did for this helmet with that one. All right, so here is the new one. I literally got this one last night at time of recording, obviously. And again, this thing is freaking beautiful. The finish on the mask of the last one was a more matte. This is like super reflective. Like you can see me recording this video in the mask of this helmet. But anyway, so this one, turning it on is the same exact concept. There is a switch on the bottom of the chin right there, right next to the speaker, just like on the last one. So we flip that, and it will do its calibration thing, much like the other one did. So real quick, just a disclaimer. With this one, I find that it's a little more finicky, and that's because these ones are a lot newer, and one of the reasons it took so long to ship, actually, is because the manufacturers actually told me that they had to do a lot of testing on the new helmets that they were making, and this was part of that batch. So very, 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 very new. Like they haven't even gotten like the process all the way down yet, I would say, just based on the testing. But this is the instruction manual for this one. It's actually a lot more fleshed out than the last one was. So if we open it up, which is which is a process, because it's like, I mean, when you get the whole thing unfolded, it's kind of huge, actually. There we go. So yeah, it shows you where the voice receiver is, the power switch is, and this helmet has sensors just like that one, but they are harder to find. So the sensors for this one are about right there between these two gold plates. And there's one on this side too, right there. So yeah, these sensors have two functions, and you could read those if you would like. I'm probably going to be using them a lot because, like I just said, this one's a little more finicky. So the remote control that this one comes with, I find doesn't always work. It's actually like I don't know. Out of all the times I've tried to use this to actually control the helmet, I think it's only worked once. So we'll see if it works in this video. But if it doesn't, I'm probably going to be using the voice commands to do a lot of the things. But speaking of the voice commands, all of the voice commands are listed right here. So you can read those if you would like. You can pause the video and look at those. And this is a manual for what all of the remote control buttons do. So this one will control the mask. This one will control the opening and closing of the helmet. And the reason that these two buttons are different, and it has to specify that, is because this one has a lot of moving parts as well, except not all of them are on the mask. As far as the mask is concerned, this piece and this piece are the only two moving parts, and that's it. Going back to the back plate that we have to move to put it on, it's right here. We could move it by hand, but that's boring because this one actually moves itself, which is super cool. And as well as these side pieces right here, these also come out, and that actually doesn't help you put the helmet on at all because there's just more helmet in there, but it looks cool, right? Shut up. All right, so moment of truth. Let's see if this thing actually works. Let's try opening the whole thing. That's awesome. So as you can see, the whole thing will open up, as well as this back plate here. And I didn't really do it all the way because I have it sitting on this table. But yeah, so the back plate, to actually put your head in it, will open itself. And that is a thing that the Mk5 helmet does not do. You have to open it with your hands on that one. But this thing is awesome. A lot of moving pieces around the whole thing. And as you can see, like I said, the mask itself is only these two pieces move. Let's close it real quick. Just like that. And I'm pretty sure if we do this thing's, if we hit this thing's left sensor, so it would be right about right there, just the back plate would open. So that's there for when you're wearing it and you want to take it off, and it will open up the back plate for you. But I actually opened that so I can give you guys a look at the inside of this thing. The padding came really kind of messed up on this one. But yeah, that's what the inside of the helmet looks like. It's a lot less messy than the Mk5, simply because the mask in this one only has two moving parts that it has to coordinate. So we're going to close this, if I can find the sensor. Again, the sensors on these ones are harder to find. But now I'm gonna put this one on. And the caveat that we had to do with the last one will not be in effect here. And the reason is because this one actually has a tighter fit, so I don't have to use the hat. Oh, real quick, another thing I wanted to show, is that this thing has more lights. So, it's this button. This thing has more lights. So it has these lights on the sides here, both sides, and it also has combat mode, as well as the other one does. So there are voice commands for the backup lights and the combat mode and all that stuff. I might be using those, I might not. Thankfully, this thing decided to work for this video so I could actually show it off. But yeah, we're going to turn that off. And now, I'm gonna put this thing on, so I'll be right back. Okay, and now I have it on my head. Another thing I should mention is that I did actually try wearing the hat while wearing this one, and it helped it to not move around as much, but it's not necessary like it is with the other one, because this one is a tighter fit, and it also like holds onto my face, like on the sides here, which is something that the other one doesn't really do. But yeah, so if we use sensor on the side there, we can open up the helmet, and the back lights should still be on. Yeah, they are. So yeah, this thing is super cool. I actually really like this thing a lot, and it's easy to take off while wearing it, because of this other sensor, like I already showed off. It will open that back plate back there, and I can just close that back up again if I wanted to. And so yeah, this thing is so cool. I actually really like this helmet. So, real talk for a second. Now we're getting to the price point of this one. As you might have guessed, this one is more expensive. This one is listed, if I remember correctly, as $380, so almost $400. I got it for a small discount, but if you don't get it for a small discount, this one will run you about 400 bucks after shipping and taxes and all of that. So this one is pricier than the other one. I would say if you're on a budget, definitely go for the Mk5 helmet, simply because it offers a lot of the same kind of features as this one does, just for not as much. And let's be honest, the Mk5 helmet is really cool. I know a lot of people like that armor, and I'm included. So I think all of the pieces of the mask that move on that one really sell it for an Iron Man helmet. But this one is extra. There's a lot going on this one, like these side plates that move for no reason other than the fact that it just looks cool. Like if I grab the remote real quick, the back plate opens as well as these side pieces, which actually doesn't help me take the helmet off at all, but it does look cool. So yeah, this one's more expensive. Get this one if you want it, but if you can't get it, don't feel bad, because the Mk5 is actually super cool. So yeah. All right, guys, that is gonna do it for me today. Again, this is a video that I don't normally do on this channel, but just because I got 2 of these now, I figured it would be kind of fun, just for the hell of it. I think both of these helmets are super cool, and I kind of wanted to show them off, honestly. So yeah, if you are watching this and you are interested in either of these, literally just Google search Iron Man Mk5 or Iron Man Mk50 helmet, and these will show up. The Mk50 I got from a website called Joe Toys. Very, very long shipping time. It took forever to show up. But this one, the Mk5, I actually got off of Amazon, and the shipping time was not as long. It took about a week, if I remember right. But yeah, so it gets hot in this one. Anyway, yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next video. These things are really cool. All right, have a good one.